Hi, my name is Emma, also known as Tainted Blood Books on Wattpad, and in this series I'm going to be talking about all things relating to Wattpad, starting from setup to writing your first book, to editing your first book, promoting your first book, all things Wattpad. So this video is going to be more beginner level. We're literally talking about making an account and how to set up the account. I do feel like whether you've been on Wattpad for a while or are newly joining the platform, that particularly the second half of this video has some very valuable information to how to get people's attention, get them to follow you, get them to want to check out your work. So before I get into the video, I wanted to give a shout out to Respite Beneath the Iron Dome. Firstly, I just want to say this book has an incredible cover. I'm in love with this book cover. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's written by Kaiser Vincent. I might have pronounced it wrong with my silly little accent, but I highly recommend this book. And if you have any books that you would like to recommend to me, please list them below in the comments section. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up, as it really helps the channel. Also be sure to subscribe, because as I said, this is the first video of many. I worked alongside the Wattpad team as a Wattpad ambassador back in 2010, I believe, for a few years. And so that means that I just have a lot of information about how Wattpad works behind the screen and what goes on like beyond what you can see. So basically I feel like I could potentially help you to build your platform in a way that is fast growing. As evidence of that, my story here, Newborn, has gone viral on Wattpad. And I have a few others, which a lot of them have been taken down, which also went viral. So just a little evidence that, I do know what I'm talking about. Okay, so as I said, this is a very base level. We're just starting on Wattpad. We've only just joined video, though we will be covering setup, which will be helpful for people who have been there for years even. We're first going to talk about how to join Wattpad. So Wattpad is available both on, of course, the Wattpad app, and then there is, desktop computer. And I do feel like even though both of these work out great, I personally favor desktop computer just because I feel like it's a lot easier to kind of, particularly when you're a writer, to set things up.
Okay, so that being said, we're going to use desktop to make a new account on Wattpad. I know that this is very base level, but I actually get asked this a lot, so I just wanted to cover it in the video. So firstly, head to wattpad.com, and if you're in Australia, wait a while for it to load, and then you want to click sign up. Okay, so after that, you will be prompted to put in a username. I do suggest either using whatever name you're going to use as an author, whether it's your real name or a pen name, or your book series name, your book title name, or if you're completely stuck for something, try to use something that people will search, something that is popular or people look up a lot, because it will give you a better chance of being found on Wattpad by chance. Okay, then after that, you're going to be prompted to put in your email and then choose a password. Of course, you're going to have to jump through some hoops as you do with password making. So just put in something that is hard, but you'll remember. Otherwise, you'll end up resetting it 50 million times like I do. And then put in your birthday and then, of course, read the terms and conditions. You always want to read the terms and conditions of every website. Don't just click it. You want to read it. And then after that, when you click it, because you've read it, of course, you then move on to the next level. Okay, so I've censored the account in case I end up giving it away to a friend, but I want to keep going, so it will ask you if you are a reader account, writer account, or both. I don't think it particularly matters if you choose reader and end up writing. It's not like it locks your account or anything. I think it's just so they know for like survey purposes. So don't stress too much, but if you're unsure, then click both. So here you're just getting asked, your pronouns, he, she, they, whichever one you prefer. and here you're just getting asked about what stories you like to read. This is just so instantly you will have books recommended to you that you will like. So just choose whatever you think you'll enjoy. It doesn't really matter too much because eventually the algorithm is just going to realize what you like and choose for you. So congratulations, you are all done. I'll try not to put in any more creepy sound effects of children cheering. Your account will already have some stories recommended to you, and just to let you guys know that until you confirm your email from your email address, your inbox, that you are that Wattpad user that joined, you will not be able to vote, follow people, or comment on stories. So you really want to make sure that you confirm that email from Wattpad so your account isn't locked in any way.
So now that we have our account, even though I know there is a popular saying that says don't judge a book by its cover, and while it is true in terms of people, it's not so true in terms of Wattpad. As I've mentioned in prior videos, when you're on Wattpad, all you see is that white screen and all these books. So basically all readers have to go from is the look of your book cover. So that really does matter. The way your name is, book cover design, the blurb, even just the setup, like your entire setup, just to look professional and not amateur, matters a lot. Because if you look like a writer who actually quote unquote cares about their account and knows what they're doing, you're much more likely to get those followers than if you don't. I will say, I just looked at my screen, I will say Kaiser's, I might not be pronouncing that right, but Kaiser Vincent, his banner, he nailed it. He nailed it in terms of the banner and the cover. So he's actually a really good example of how to set up your account as a newbie. I also believe I'm a good example. Anyway, sometimes with the banners, so ideally, and this is just me giving my own input, it doesn't matter too much, I suppose, but I personally like things to kind of match. So ideally you would have a banner, preferably sized around this, and you can make them on Canva. I find that Canva is a great platform to make book covers, banners, promotional art, promotional graphics, all of that. I do most of my stuff on Canva. So I will have that linked below in the comment section. Ideally, you would have the banner, which is up the top there, your profile picture, and the book kind of having a theme. I do like depending on whether you're doing one series or like a lot of series or a single book, I do like the personalization. So it's like you'll see on my account, I've got my face right there. It's just because I want people to know who is the admin who's controlling the account. I do work alongside some very talented co-writers, but I basically take care of the account. So I've got my face there so people know when they message me or talk to me, it's me that they're talking to. And I just feel like that personalization goes a far way because they know who I am, and that helps a lot. In saying that, if you don't feel comfortable, like if you are doing something under a pen name or you just don't really want to show your picture or your face, then I suggest having it match. So have a sort of aesthetic. Again, I'm going to use Kaiser as an example. I feel like they did a really good job at making everything kind of match and have a theme, which is really important. Like it's a very professional setup. So you've got the profile pic, whether it's a picture of your face or something that is sort of aesthetically pleasing in terms of either you could have a graphic, a logo, something that matches like the banner and the vibe of what you're trying to write. So if you're writing horror stories, you might want to have your setup of your page more horror themed. If you're writing romance stories, you might want to have the setup of your page more focused on love and light and more of like a friendly vibe, So basically try to have your page set up for whatever you write. This is a little bit complicated for me because I write a lot of books, and though they're all from the same multiverse, they cover a very large ground of different things. So I just have a dark aesthetic with some of my books there. And then I've got my face for the personalization, and then I have my book covers, which I work really hard with various artists to try to have them have a certain aesthetic. Me and my co-writers have different opinions. Like I prefer books that have people on the covers, which most people don't. Most people prefer a book that has more of like a graphic design. So This is an example of a book cover that I like. This is an example of a book cover that my co-writers would like. I tend to try to do both. So I often release two different covers of the same book series. So for example, this is my book Delve that I co-write with the lovely Anya Kota. Here is the same book with a different cover because we disagree on covers. So for Delve, the links are below. If you would like to check it out, it is free on Kindle Unlimited. Just want to add that in, little self promo. But yeah, I feel like that giving people that range of covers can be very helpful. So let's just say some people release the books in different languages or something. If you were to release the book in different languages, you could potentially use both covers. That way you're covering both grounds. You've got like a theme, things are matching. But yes, so with book covers, it's very hard to describe in not many words how to do a good book cover, because I can let you know what majority likes and then what I like. So I think that particularly for book covers, I'm going to make a separate video, which I will release shortly after this video. So that way, because I really want to go in depth with book covers, I feel like they're very important. As I said, although it's don't judge a book by its cover, in this case, definitely the opposite. With Wattpad, definitely the opposite. You are judging the book by the cover 100%. So I want to go into more detail with that. So that video will also be linked below. But for this video, I will just say try to keep the aesthetic matching. Banner, profile picture, and book cover. Try to keep it matching. Very, very quick abridged version. Don't have it in low pixels, okay? Don't have the cover so it's cropping somewhere so some of the text is missing. Don't have it like in low quality. Don't have it like so the title is hard to read. It's very important that the readers know what they're reading. You know, you want to have everything clear, everything easy, everything just very accessible. Like in this day and age, people don't want to mess around, you know, they just want things accessible and just neat and tidy and done, you know. So basically, if you have a grainy, bad cover that isn't doing much, it's not really even telling what the story is, I really suggest that you invest in a good cover. So I've also got some links below. I've got cost-effective options, which is Fiverr. There is a seller on Fiverr that I very much advise using. I think that she's very talented. Alternatively, there are some Etsy sellers that I think are also very talented. And the last resort that I use is the book cover designer, I think it's called. But all those links for book covers are below if you want to invest in getting a cover design. With the book cover designer, you can show or tell like if you like a seller on there but they don't really have, like if you like a seller's designs on there but they don't have a cover that matches what you're looking for, you can hire them for commission work, so get them to create a cover custom for you. And although it may be a bit more pricey, that way you can get a more personalized cover. You could even show them, this is my banner, this is my profile, like I'm looking for something to match this aesthetic. You could show them other book covers that you like and say, I want something similar to this. But yes, it's very important on Wattpad to invest on making your profile look good. So next we have the bio. This is my setup. I like to keep things very to the point. Now it is a challenge on Wattpad because you do have a limited amount of space, which is also good because you don't want to kind of confuse people with too much information. But I find that using a link tree, like particularly if you are selling books on Amazon or you want to show off all your social media platforms, that having a link tree is a very easy way to just sort of bundle everything together. So this is my setup, and while I don't say it's absolutely perfect and you must do something like this, I think it's a good example of what you want to do. You want to have a little bit of personality. You could have like how authors have an author bio. You could have something like that, just a little like about me as an author. I find that that bit of personalization, again, similar to the profile picture, is very helpful at your readers connecting with you on a more personal level, which can really separate you from the crowd, because there is a crowd on Wattpad. It's very hard, needle in a haystack trying to get noticed on there, particularly at first. Not impossible though, not impossible. It's very, very possible. I've seen a lot of people get a lot of momentum there very quickly, and it's by having the right setup. It's by following this design that I'm telling you guys. So the bio is very important. You want to have any links, easy, accessible, everything is just there. People don't have to muck around asking where's this, where's that. It's just all there in the bio, easy done. And again, you want to have everything matched. Now I do use a font changer. You need to be careful with font changer because sometimes what looks good on the desktop actually messes up on the app. So you want to double check. Okay, always double check. So my banner, for example, my banner looked really good on the desktop, but then when I looked on the app, it actually didn't look good at all. So check both. Check the app, check the desktop, check them both. Make sure you look aesthetically pleasing on both. There's nothing cropping, there's nothing cutting off, nothing like that. Your cover looks good, nothing's grainy. It just, everything looks neat and tidy. If you are confused about whether or not your setup looks good, please feel free to comment your profile below. And while I can't promise that I will check out every single person, I will definitely do my best to be like yes, no, or advise what you could change to have, you know, a better setup. So this video has ended up being a little bit long, so in later videos we're going to talk about setting up the book. This is more setting up your profile, looking professional, having information easy, accessible, having things matching, having nothing grainy, nothing like low quality, you know, just having that professionalism, because when you're on there, there is such a vast amount of people that you are competing with that it's very hard to stand out. You need to have a cover that's popping, a cover that just shows from the crowd. And the second you have, you know, unless you're very lucky, the second that you have a cover that is just lower quality, you know, like the words aren't as clear, it's more grainy, it's cropping, it just looks more amateur, people are less likely to click on that cover. So this is my very quick setup advice. I wish you luck and I wish you all the best on your Wattpad journey. And in the next video, I'm going to be talking about book covers, going really in depth about how to get the perfect book cover for your genre. Because while I said I prefer people with, you know, I prefer people on the cover, whereas my co-writers prefer a plain cover. And I will say this one's more, universally speaking, this one's more popular if you just want to go for the core demographic, but not always. Not always. And that's why in the next video, I'm going to break down when to use this, when to use this, and how to use it well, and how to make just a cover that just pops. And I'll even use some examples of some covers that I personally like, some covers that are just very popular on Wattpad. And yeah, so good luck. Please make sure that you follow me on Wattpad and subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching and best of luck.